Hi everyone, I'm your host today with Around Town with Tom Reber. We have a great guest today, Tara Belanger. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Wow. Compass Real Estate. You've been doing real estate since 2017.
Yes.
New construction, resale, started in New York, through Atlanta to Jacksonville. Tell us all about it.
So I'm actually not originally from here. Obviously, I'm a transplant, and that's actually benefited me because I work with a lot of people from out of state. I run a YouTube channel, Moving to Ponte Vedra Beach. I do a lot of active things on Facebook and social media, and it ends up attracting people from other states. So I get to work with people from all over, whether they're buying new construction or resales. It's really been beneficial to be a relocating person myself.
You know, so cool that you're taking the technology today, video today, putting it into your business and utilizing it as an entree point to do business with you. So YouTube, you mentioned that you're like a host on YouTube about moving to Ponte Vedra Beach. Tell us a little bit how that's working and what type of success you're having.
It's been great, and even though it's Ponte Vedra Beach, I've actually pretty much been working for the most part all 4 counties around Jacksonville, but I still a lot between, I guess, the beaches and the river. But what's been really nice is I kind of treat it as if I were going to move to another state, I want as much information as I possibly can. So that's what people do before they hop on a plane or throw their kids in a car. They're going to research an area. They end up finding me, and there's other people out there as well, but they pretty much match a personality with who they think they can have a partnership with for this transaction.
Wow.
And they show up, they usually have 3, 4, 5 days, and we get to work.
I love it.
Yeah.
So having the answers to the quiz is, I guess, the entree point to do business with you. You give them all the answers to the quiz, give them the perspective of what North Florida has to offer, and then they contact you and you say, okay, let's learn a little bit more. So what are your kind of hot button questions when you're talking to a new client? What do you try to find out?
Find out what they really want, because sometimes their buyer list is not what they want. Sometimes it's the opposite. For example, do not show me homes with CDD fees. What usually happens, they buy a home with their CDD fees. Well, they find out what the value of it is, but of course you don't want to, sometimes they want to maximize their price for what they're approved, and they don't want to spend any more, but when they see what's offered, because it's not what's offered where they're from, they're blown away, and sometimes they go for it and sometimes they don't. So you have to kind of show them around and get a feel for what they're looking for.
How interesting is that you find out they really, really want one thing and they end up actually doing just the opposite. I find that happen a lot too in my world as well, where you come in and it's like, but once they understand the details of the information, like, you know what, not so bad, I kind of like it. And so you're like the real estate Sherpa. You kind of guide them where they need to be, and then all of a sudden you may have to make a pivot. So you've kind of said you concentrate a little bit more on the new construction. What's your favorite parts of town for new construction?
Well, I live in Nocatee, so that's definitely
the 32081.
Yes, exactly. So for Ponte Vedra, but like I said, I've done from Ponte Vedra Beach or any of the beaches all the way to the St. John's River. That's pretty popular. And I think new construction became heavy because it's very easy to show new construction on YouTube because people like to see pretty things. They don't always go for new construction when they show up, but there's a comfort in that. So it's nice to guide them if they do go for new construction, guide them whether it's a quick move in or choosing the lot, helping them with that. But they also need to be careful not to design their house just for them, because when they're done, that is their investment. I'm on my 3rd forever home, so I know how it works.
I love to say forever because it's the never forever.
Exactly. So I get it. I mean, it feels like it at the moment, but in reality, it may not be the forever home.
I like to say, and you've heard me say this, but every 5 years you kind of change your mindset. Everything evolves. You're 180 degrees different in 5 years from where you are today. And kids, parents, all those things, the silver tsunami's real, because what you thought was your forever home in 5 years, all of a sudden your parents are maybe aging out, your kids are no longer in certain schools. You're like, you know what, I'm kind of excited about moving.
Right.
Well, very good. So you're the total package. I'm very, very happy that we got to have this conversation today. And how can people get a hold of you? Tell us about your YouTube.
So it's called Moving to Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. You could search me on there. I also run a Facebook page called What's Up in Ponte Vedra. And granted, they're Ponte Vedra, but I share information from all over because that's what I learned. They may start with that, but sometimes they branch out.
Well, let me tell you something. North Florida, I've been all over the country. North Florida's a great place. Every time I come back home, I say this is exactly why I live here. I mean, you've got a little everything. The 5-county MSA is, in my opinion, the best in the United States. Well, Tara, thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Thank you so much.
Guys, if you'd like to learn a lot more about Tara Belanger and Compass Real Estate, go to dailynewsnetwork.com. Thank you all and cheers.
Wildlife and Pest Services is a local, family-owned and operated pest and wildlife removal company operating in Northeast Florida. We specialize in managing all wildlife and all pests. So if it's squirrels, rats, raccoons, snakes, you've got somebody actively controlling these issues on your property so that you don't have to worry about having some sudden scare. You know who can handle that and take care of it so that it doesn't have to knock you out of your daily routine of life.